Hi, welcome to Budget MTG Decks. All magic fun, all cards from $1. I'm David.
And I'm Lisa.
And today we're going to do something a little bit different. We have over here 6 packs of Dominaria, so I thought it'd be fun to just enjoy the good weather in our garden. And let's build a seal deck together, according to our 3-tiered system, which is of course tiered 1. Those are the cards that win us the game. These are our bombs, our unconditional removal. Tier 2, these are really good cards that push us into a color or auto-includes if we're already in that color. Tier 3 cards are our filler cards, so if we're missing a couple of drops, then we make sure that we get the cards from there. And the rest of the cards, we're going to put those aside. So Lisa has most graciously offered herself to be the guinea pig in this experiment. And she's going to be building it with my advice. And let's see if we can build something fun together. So Lisa, let's
get started.
Yeah, let's get started. Let's put these over here on the side. Start opening up. Yeah. Okay, open it up right here so that everybody can see it. Yeah, there we go. As I said already, this is purely experimental.
Where do you want me to put
tokens
these?
We could put up there.
And the land.
Yeah.
This is a special land. Let's see. Well, this looks like a bomb, right?
Yes.
Tier 1.
Well, it's not tier 1. I think it's a tier.
Tier 2?
I think it's tier 2. It's pretty decent, but it won't win the game by itself. So
I'm gonna put it in the middle. Okay.
Yep.
Then we have Merfolk Trickster 2/2.
You'll have to read it out loud.
When Merfolk Trickster enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. It loses all abilities until the end of turn.
Yeah, that's a pretty good card. I think it's a
tier
tier 2.
2?
Yeah.
Do you want me to put these in color or just
no, we can just make the piles for now.
Okay, then we have an artifact.
The camera's up here, huh? For the thing, yeah.
We have an equipment here. If we tap it, it deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. If this creature is a wizard, it deals 2 damage, and we have to equip it for 3. That's not that great.
No.
It deals 1 damage. Tier 1?
Put it aside.
Side? Llanowar Elves. I think this is a good filler to just have in your deck to have more mana.
It's a really good card.
Right?
I would say tier 2.
Yeah.
Because I think you always, if you got a couple of these, it really pushes you into green.
Very slippery still.
Yeah, that's the thing with these new
Destroy
cards.
target creature. That's very good removal.
Yeah, that's unconditional removal.
Yeah, is that tier 2 or 3?
That's tier 1.
1?
Yeah.
Oh, 1 is the best, right?
Yeah, the 1 is the best. Yeah. So that's on this side, right here.
I was confused with 1
Yes.
and 3. 3/2 flyer. I think that's a good filler for tier 2, right?
That's tier 2, yeah. But tier 3 are the filler cards, and tier 2 are not filler cards. Tier 2 are
It's really good.
It's really good, yeah.
But not the best.
But not the best,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
That's reserved for 1.
Yeah. Okay, then we have Sparring Construct. It's a 1/1, and when it dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It's not that great, right?
No, just put it aside. Wait, we need to have a little bit more structure over here. This is because there's only really 4 layers, so we don't need to separate them that far.
Okay.
So let's say this is tier 1, this is tier 2, this is tier 3, and this is put aside. Yeah.
So tier 3, we don't have anything there.
We have these lands. I guess we're gonna leave that one over here because that just depends on what colors we're gonna be playing. We're not gonna let the land dictate what color we're playing.
Okay, and then we have Fire Elemental. It's a big guy, but it doesn't do anything special. So
It's tier 3.
3? Really?
Yeah, it's just a filler.
Okay. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's not that great here, right?
No, it's not a filler card. That's just a put aside card.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try and keep them a little bit like that so that we can still see what's going on.
Okay, then we have Armored Explorer. It's a 3/3. When he enters, target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Well, it might be good if you have a lot of synergy with...
Their synergy is completely irrelevant. The fact that it's just for 4 mana, it's a 3/3 means it's an okay filler card.
2 or 3?
3. 2 is like 1 is like super good. 2 is like good. 3 is like well you can play it but eh, and this is like don't play it.
Okay. Okay, we have a 4/2. When you cast a historic spell. When you cast a historic spell, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. It's not great, right?
No, the ability is not great.
3?
No, because now we have to think about whether whether the body is good enough for the price. And for 4 mana, it's only got 2 toughness, so we don't want to be playing that.
No?
So we're going to put that aside.
Okay. Well, sorry for the mess. Then we have Pierce of the Sky, or Pierce the Sky. Pierce the Sky deals 7 damage to target creature with flying.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's conditional.
It's extremely conditional, which once again means we put it aside.
Okay. And then we have Gitu Chronicler. It's a 1/3. You can kick it for 4. When he enters, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand if it was kicked. I think it's pretty expensive for that, right?
Still just a fine filler to put it in tier 3, yeah.
Okay, well that was the first pack.
All right, 1 down, 5 to go.
Token, land, and then we have Sahid, Djinn of the Lamp. It's a 5/6 for 6, which is pretty good. You can pay 4, tap an untapped artifact you control rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Wow, so, okay, cool. It's a flyer, I think, tier 1?
Yep, this is a bomb. It's got evasion built in. It's a big guy, really big guy actually.
Right. Goblin Barrage. Sacrifice an artifact or goblin to kick it, and deals 4 damage to target creature. And if it was kicked, it deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. Yeah, it's a removal, but it's conditional. So
it's actually, if it would be the removal which deals damage, let's say 1, 2, 3, then I would say it's still conditional, but 4 damage pretty much kills everything. So it won't kill, for example, this thing, but I think most important things it will kill, so let's put it in 1 for now.
I think I would say 2.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? We're going to follow Lisa on this one. We're going to put it to 2.
Because I'm the expert.
Lisa's the expert today, yes.
Okay, then we have Board the Weatherlight. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a historic card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. What would you say?
Too situational.
Yeah?
Yeah, your deck would need to be completely built around it. You just can't guarantee that.
I'm gonna put it to the side. We have Skittering Surveyor. This is a cute picture. For 3, it's a 1/2, and he enters the battlefield. You may search your library for a basic land card. Okay, so it's just a mana rock and a tiny creature.
Yeah, well, it doesn't accelerate you. It only fixes you, but still, it is a very solid card. So I would say it. What do we say this one was? I think I would always play it. Put it tier 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have draw 2 cards. That's good.
Actually, not always, because if you got a very solid base for just 2 colors, you probably don't need it. So we'll put that in as a filler card. Becomes more important when we play 3 colors.
This filler?
I think I would always play Divination.
Good,
I think I'll put it tier 2. I think I'm always playing Divination if you're in blue.
If I'd be playing blue, I'd put it in.
Yeah. So then that's tier 2. It's an auto include in blue.
Okay. A 2/1 flyer which cannot block. Well, it's good to start out with. Doing
Just
some
a filler
damage,
card.
right?
You can use it. Nothing to write home about though.
No.
But I mean, if you need a 3-drop, one with evasion isn't bad.
Okay. Academy Drake. It's a 2/2 for 3, a flyer, which is good already. You can kick it for 4, and if it was kicked, it enters with 2+1/+1 counters. I like it.
Yeah.
It's not really a bomb, right?
It's not a bomb, but it is
Tier
definitely
2.
tier 2, yeah.
Okay. Then we have Broken Bond. For 2, destroy target artifact or enchantment. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. I think I like the second part better than the first.
Yeah, just put it aside because it's very situational. You gotta have a land in your hand. You gotta have something to destroy. It's not great.
Hey, this
we know this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. 5/4. I'm gonna put it here. Then we have a Sergeant at Arms. It's a 2/3 for 3. You can kick it for 3, and it enters the battlefield. Create 2+1/+1 soldier creature tokens if it was kicked.
It's okay, filler.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Arcane Flight. Hey, that's a flying cat. Okay, you can enchant a creature and then it gets +1/+1 and it has flying. Okay, so you can basically just give something flying for 1.
Yeah.
2?
No.
1?
Yeah, filler. I mean, I haven't seen it being used for, I mean, that great, but I mean, if we got Yargle, Glutton of Urbog, and then we enchant it, means flying, we can do 10 damage.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty sweet. But then again, if somebody plays Eviscerate on it, then we lose both cards, which is a pretty big downfall. So it depends on what other cards we've got. We know that one already as well.
Then we have...
We already know that one as well, so you can put it over there.
Yeah. And Pierce the Sky again.
Yeah.
Also here.
Correct.
Okay, next
Windy.
pack. Token. Land. Ooh, it's foily. Sorcerer's
And
Wand.
useless. We already have it over there as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right. What do we have here? Legendary enchantment, hexproof. You can't lose the game. It's fun. Nah, it's not really fun. Whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. Oh, we haven't seen any lifelink cards yet. Whenever you lose life, for each 1 life you lost, exile a permanent you control or a card from your hand or graveyard. And when he leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. Wow. I don't really like playing cards like this.
Nah,
what do you think?
It's a terrible card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too situational. You're going to be losing your permanents. There's no real way of having a reliable way to gain life so we can draw cards, so we're going to put that card aside.
Okay. 2/2 flying haste for 3, which is good. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, wizards you control get +1/+1. Well, I'm not sure if we have any other wizards, but just a 2/2 with flying and haste for 3 is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
2/2?
Yeah.
It's not a bomb,
That's
but...
right. No.
Ooh, a saga. The Eldest Reborn for 5. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker. Okay, that's good. So how do you get to this one?
When you play it.
Okay.
Yeah, just read the next one.
And then you sacrifice after 3. Okay. The second one, each opponent discards a card, so it's only opponents, which is good. And 3, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. What would we say? Tier 2?
Well, the thing is, we said that it wasn't that great. It takes a little bit too long. Your opponent gets to choose, so I would put it in as a filler card.
Okay. Then we have Spore Crown Ballot. For 2, it's a 2/2, and each other creature you control that's a fungus or sapperling, situational, gets +1/+1. So it's basically just a 2/2 for 2. Tier 1?
Yeah, just filler.
Call the Cavalry for 4. Create 2/2 White Knight creature tokens with Vigilance.
Filler.
Filler, right? If you play white, it could be okay. Artifact for 1, and if you pay 6 and tap it and sacrifice it, okay, so just sacrifice, target creature gets -5/-5. Okay, well, it's good removal. It's pretty expensive.
Yeah, so it's just a filler. You can put it in the deck if you're really lacking removal.
Yeah. Okay, for 2, target attacking creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until the end of turn. Okay, well, if you play it on this guy, it could be good. It's a combat trick, so tier 1?
No, combat
2?
trick is just put it in as a filler card.
Yeah, okay, so tier 1. I meant tier 3. I'm so confusing. A 3/2. When he enters the battlefield, if you control another wizard, he deals 2 damage to each opponent. It's pretty situational as well, so I would say here.
Yeah, it's just a filler card.
Tier
The
3?
body, a 3/2 is fine,
Yeah.
what it is.
Healing Grace for 1. Prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to any target this turn by a source of your choice. You gain 3 life. Put it aside?
Correct.
Rescue for 1. Return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. Why would you do that? If it gets targeted?
Mm-hmm. It's too situational.
Yeah. Rat colony. For 2/1, it gets +1/+0 for each other rat. Okay, that's very situational. And deck can have any number of this card. I don't like it.
It's terrible, but it's still just a filler card because you
Really?
can still, you can still use it as a 2-drop.
Yeah,
Because it's got 2 power.
Yeah.
But you're not happy about it.
Grow from the ashes. For 3, search your library for a basic land card within the battlefield. And if it was kicked, for 2, search your library for 2 basic land cards. Okay. Filler, put it in if you play green.
No, it's not automatic include.
No?
If you would just be playing mono green, for example,
Yeah, then you
that'd
don't
be
need
very
it, right?
useful. No.
Skirk Prospector for 1. It's a 1/1. Okay, also here, right?
No, just put that one aside.
Yeah,
You don't really
really?
want to play 1/1s for 1 with a useless ability.
Okay.
Is that it? Alright. Now it's my turn to open some packs. Here we go. Waiting for this all day. There you go. First one, we have Coldwater Snapper. It's a 4/5 with hexproof, which means it is
Good.
actually a really good bomb.
Yeah.
Great to actually enchant with something like Arcane Flight. Tragic Poet, a 1/1 which we can sacrifice to return an enchantment card from a graveyard, is useless, so we're going to put that one aside. Keldon Warcaller, a 2/2, which when it attacks, we put a lore counter on a saga we control. Even without the lore counters, it's still a filler. Corrosive Ooze, a 2/2, and when it blocks or is blocked by something which has an equipment, we're going to destroy that equipment. That is a fine filler card. Then we have a Soul Salvage, return up to 2 target creature cards from a graveyard to your hand. I think that is too situational because something's got to be in your graveyard, otherwise it does absolutely nothing. Befuddle, return target, target creature gets -4/-0 until the end to draw a card. It is a combat trick, but it is a terrible one at that, so we're going to put that one aside. Navigator's Compass comes in, we're going to gain 3 life, and we can tap it to make a land of any basic land we want. It's good for fixing, but doesn't ramp us in any way, so let's not use that one. Blink of an Eye, we're going to return a target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. However, if we pay 4 mana for it, we're going to draw it. This is actually pretty good removal. Put that one over there. It's not unconditional though, because people can play it again. Next, a Rampaging Cyclops for 4 mana, we get a 4/4. It does get -2/-0 if there's more creatures than one blocking it, but it is a pretty decent filler nonetheless. Then we get Blessed Light, an instant to exile target creature or enchantment. Here we go. These are the cards we're looking for. That is unconditional removal. Land goes over here in the land pile. Next card, Untamed Kavu, a 2/2 with Vigilance and Trample, but if we pay 5 mana, it's going to be a 5/5 with Vigilance and Trample. That is a really good, that's a tier 2 card,
Why wouldn't
absolutely.
you put that as a tier 1?
Because I don't think that a 5/5 with
Vigilance and
Trample's
Trample for 5, I think that's really good.
You want to put it over there? You want to put it on tier 1?
I would put it in tier 1.
Okay. We're going to put that one over there for Lisa. Then we got Danitha Compassion Paragon, a 2/2 with First Strike Vision and Lifelink. That is a really good card. Absolutely solid. Got another land over here. Then we have this one and that one. Next pack. Put the tokens away and the lands. Then we have Grand Warlord Rana, a 3/4 with haste, and whenever it attacks with 2 or more, or whenever it attacks with 1 or more creatures, we're going to be adding red or green mana, and that does not empty as steps and phases end. So that is really good. Is this a bomb by itself? I'm going to go with no, but it is a really good, solid card. Next we have On Sarah's Wings, an enchantment. Enchanted creature is legendary, gets +1/+1 flying, vigilance, and lifelink. I think it's a pretty decent filler. I mean, enchantments are always dangerous to play. The Flames of Keld, it's a saga, so when it enters, we're going to discard our hand. Then next turn, we're going to draw 2 cards, and then next turn, if a red source we control would deal damage, we're going to do that +2 instead. I don't really like playing this card because it puts us in a risk that early game we can't play because we're going to discard our hand.
Yeah.
And so only late game when we already don't have any cards, and then first we discard so we don't get any cards right away, then we gotta wait till next turn before we draw, so let's not play that. Next we have a Knight of Malice, a 2/2 with first strike, hexproof from white, and it gets +1/+0 as long as a player controls a white permanent. That is actually a really good card. We're going to put that one tier 2. Academy Journey Mage, a 3/2 so for 5, so the body is not great. It does cost 1 less if you control a wizard, but we can't guarantee that. And when it enters the battlefield, return target creature an opponent controls back to his hand. So that's kind of removable. I think it's pretty solid that you get a creature and you get to remove something. This one, Aerial Glider, we have already before. That was a filler card. Then we have Keldon Overseer, a 3/1. When he enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, we're going to gain control of target creature until the end of turn. If that, we're going to untap that creature and it gains haste. So it's cool because for 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, we can actually take something over and we've got a creature. For the rest, it doesn't matter. You can also play it early game. It's not the end of the world. So it's a fine filler card. Then we have Sapperling Migration. For 2 mana, we get 2 Sapperling, and for 6 mana, we're going to get, let me see, we're going to get 4 instead. Okay, well, that's fine filler card. Nothing to write home about, though. Just a couple of 1/1s. Sarah Disciple for 2 mana, a 1/1 with flying and first strike.
That's good.
Yeah, well, first strike is good, flying is good, but not on a 1/1 body, and it only varies. Only when we play a historic spell does it get +1/+1 only till the end of turn, so it doesn't even grow either. So we're going to put that card aside.
Oh, really?
Then we have Syncopate. That is a removal spell because it counters target spell, so that is a filler card because we don't like our removal spells to be based around counter spells. But yeah, if you're playing blue and you're low on counter removal, then it can work. Cabal Evangelist, just a 2/2 for 2. That is also just a filler card. Llanowar Envoy, a 3/2 for 3. And we can actually filter some mana by putting in 1 mana and a green to make one of any color. But it's just a fine filler card because the body is fine. Then for 2 mana, we get a 2/2 Goblin Warrior. Whenever you cast a spell, if that spell was kicked, this guy's going to get +1/+1 at menace to the end of turn. You can't guarantee that, but still, just a 2/2 for 2 is fine.
Fillers.
And charge for 1 mana, creature you control get +1/+1 until the end of turn. It's a fine combat trick. I would use that if we really do not have any other decent removal. Try and bait our opponent into blocking. Then we go to the last pack. Let's save the rare for the last. We're going to start with Artificer's Assistant, a 1/1 with flying, and whenever you cast a historic spell, scry 1. Once again, we don't really want 1/1s for 1 unless they've got a good ability, and the scry is just not good enough. Then we have Untitled Trapper, a 3/2 for 3, so that's a pretty decent body. And whenever you cast a historic spell, tap target creature an opponent controls. Okay, well, relevant ability, good, decent filler.
Do you want me to move this pal? You're just going to put him here?
I'm just going to put him on top.
Okay.
Keldon Warcrawler, once again, we talked about a 2/2 for 2 is fine. Then we have a 2/3 Croson Druid, which also has a kicker for 5, and then we're going to gain 10 life. Also a fine filler, nothing to write home about. Drudge Sentinel is a 2/1 for 3, which we can make indestructible, but the 3 mana makes it a little bit too expensive to use, so we're going to put that one aside. Then we have Mesa Unicorn, a 2/2 with lifelink, fine filler, perfect. Then we have Fury Intervention. It either deals 5 damage to target creature or we're going to destroy target artifact. This is a really good piece of removal, so we're going to put that one over there. Jousting Lance gives a creature +2/+0 and first strike if it's attacking. This is a decent filler card. Then we have Pegasus Courser, a 1/3 flyer. When it attacks, it's going to give somebody else flying, so that is super good. That is a tier 2 card, absolutely. Then we have Warcry Phoenix, a 2/2 flyer with haste, and then if we attack with 3 or more creatures, we can pay 3 mana and then return it to the battlefield tapped and attacking. So that seems pretty cool. I think 4 mana for 2/2 is a bit too expensive. And additionally, being able to be in a limited environment where you're able to attack with 3 things without losing stuff, and also having the mana open to be able to get this guy back, I think is too situational. So we're going to put that one as a filler. And Triumph of Gerard comes in. We're going to put a +1/+1 counter on target we control with the greatest power. The next turn we're going to do that again. And then the 3rd time target creature you control with the greatest power is going to get flying, lifelink, first strike until the end of turn. Also, 2 situations, you have to have a good creature, and if you don't, then it could be a problem. They could just remove it if you don't have good targets. I'm gonna put this card aside. Then we have Tiana, Ship's Caretaker. 3/3 flyer with first strike for 5. That is super good. And whenever an aura or equipment you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you may return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of next end step. That's pretty cool. Just having already a 3/3 flyer for 5 is going to be super good. That's a bomb right there. Then we have another land. We're getting a lot of rare lands by the looks of it. So we're going to build our deck is going to be land tribal by the looks of it. And finally we have our foily, and that is Voltaic Servant. So that is a 1/3, and at the beginning of your end step, you may untap target artifact. Essentially, even just by itself, for 2 mana, 1/3, fine, and it essentially has a vigilance by itself, so that's a pretty decent filler, but yeah, it just doesn't do anything very specific,
No.
very amazing. Okay, so now that we have our Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and well, put them aside cards.
Tier 0.
Tier 0 cards. We're going to have to see how we can build this into a deck. First, we're going to look at our Tier 1 cards, because these are the cards that are going to be winning us the game. Do we see anything for which we can say, yes, let's build a deck around this? So, Lisa, what do you see when you look at this? Is there any cards that are jumping out to you? Do you say, okay, I definitely want to play that?
I'm leaning towards blue, but the removal is white and black.
Yeah. So let's say we split them up into removal, right? So we've got removal over here, and we've got our bombs up here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this one's not a spectacular bomb, so I'm gonna bring that one back here. I know that you like that card, but let's bring that one again.
White and red. We could play 3 colors.
We could definitely play 3 colors,
I think we
especially
have to look at this one
in a minute. We're definitely going to look at those. We're definitely going to look at those as well. But if we see over here that the removal is not pushing us into any particular color, because we can do it either with black or with white or with red, we've really got a low amount of removal, so that's not great. So that means we have to be a bit more aggressive. The bombs, this is not an amazing bomb, Coldwater Snapper, but this one's pretty decent, and this one's pretty decent. So technically, we could say, all right, let's go for red, white, and blue, for example. Then we have all of these cards except for the black. Yeah. So we have most of our Tier 1 cards. Yeah. Let's put this one aside for a minute, and let's have a look to see whether the Tier 2 cards support that decision. So I'm going to put these ones over here. So these are the ones we want to play. This is the one we're not playing right now. Let's have a look right now at what we have in red, white, and blue. So would we not be playing this one? We would be playing that one. I'm putting away the cards.
We have quite a lot, though.
So these are the cards that we would not be playing. And these are the cards that we could be playing. That is actually a really decent amount. That's actually a really decent amount of blue Tier 2 cards that we can include in our deck. And these are the only ones that we wouldn't be able to include.
We have 4 flyers in here.
I think I'm okay with that. Yeah. So we're going to bring these into the cards that we're not going to be using, and we would like to be playing these cards, right?
We got some removal here.
Yeah, we got we've got some removal over here as well. These are actually Tier 2 removal. This one. When enters the battlefield, target creature and opponent control lose all abilities at the end of the turn. That one could be kind of used as a removal as well, like a combat trick. So that's pretty decent. So this is actually pretty decent. Yeah. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to try and build the deck with just the cards that we decide right now, and then we're gonna use the filler cards to fill out the deck. Yeah. First thing we do is we take all of the. We're not playing these cards. I'm glad that they don't that the foil cards don't bend too much. Wow, yeah. You know, that's Is that because of the sun? Yeah, let's say it's because of the sun. Let's say it's not production or anything like that. Then we have another foilish. Okay, so these are the filler cards. So these are the cards that are gonna make sure that we can complete the deck. So if you could hold on to that for a second. I feel like a magician at this point. Yeah. You could hold on to these cards for a second. Okay, now pick a card and try and. Okay, here you go. We're gonna put the cards that we don't need away. So that's going to be, I'm actually just putting them out of the screen right now.
Yeah.
These are the lands we might be using them later.
Yeah.
We are going to try and put all of the cards that we think are tier 1 and tier 2 into the deck right now. Which means that if we start...
separate them by mana?
Exactly. So let's say these, we're going to use the creatures up here.
Yeah.
And the non-creatures down here.
Okay.
So we have over here, let's say this is 5. I don't know exactly where it's supposed to be, but let's say that is 6. This is 5 as well. This is 4.
Do you need help?
Yes, please. And I will start separating the filler cards into only the filler cards that we can actually play. So the red, white, and blue filler cards. Okay. I will start separating those.
I don't have anything for 1 mana.
That's okay. I'll explain that in a minute.
Okay.
Why that is okay. Okay, so these are the filler cards that we're not playing, so I'm going to put those aside as well. Lisa, if you could just hold on to the filler cards right there. Okay. So, these are basically the best cards that we've got.
Yeah.
Okay, now what we want to make sure is that we want to make sure that we have about 17 lands. So that means that we want 23 spells.
Yeah.
So this, what we have on the table right now, has to add to 23. So how many do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we're missing 8 cards. Okay, so now we're going to use the filler cards to add another 8 cards to this.
Can't remember which ones are the fillers.
Okay, these are the fillers.
Okay.
The rest of the cards, you're going to put those aside. Now the question is, since we have these filler cards, what is the mana cost that we're missing, and is there anything that we want to include extra? Like, for example, is it creatures that we want to add? So we're going to separate this into creatures.
How many creatures do you want? 15, right?
Yeah, like around 15 creatures, let's say.
2, 3, 4,
This is
5,
non-creatures.
6, 7, 8, 9,
These
10.
also counts as creatures.
We can add 5 more creatures.
Well, that depends on whether we want to go high on, for example, let's see, we've got these artifacts. The non-creature spells. We've got combat tricks. We've got counter spells. We've got auras. We've got more combat tricks. We've got this piece of removal.
Okay.
So the interesting thing is, what we have over here is we have Tiana, Ship's Caretaker, which means that aura and equipment, whenever it gets removed, we can actually bring it back to our hand, the next end step, which means we can actually replay it again.
Yeah,
which
so
makes
we need
auras a
more of
little bit,
those.
makes it much more interesting to play. What we also have is a Coldwater Snapper, which has an X-proof, which means that once we put an aura on it, it's going to be much more difficult to remove. Which means that this might actually be the kind of deck where I would like to play 1 or 2 auras or pieces of equipment.
Which ones do you have?
So let's have a look at what we have. Let's use the space up here to have a look at the auras that we have. Okay, and equipment. We have these 3 pieces.
Okay.
Now I would like to see what would like to include Arcane Flight. Because putting that on a Coldwater Snapper, that would be super interesting.
Yeah.
Because then we have a 5-power thing in the air. However, let's say we can't put it on a Coldwater Snapper. Can we put it on another bomb? Well, no, not really, because this creature, our Jin, already has flying. Could we put it on this one? No, this one's really just coming in as removal, so it doesn't really need to give it flying. Sure, we could give it flying, but it's not really what it's there for. And Tiana already has flying as well. Aven Sentry already has flying as well. Adeliz, the Cinderwind already has flying as well. Academy Drake already has flying.
I think we get your point. We have
Pegasus
loads of flyers
Courser
already.
has flying as well. And Danitha Capashen Paragon would like to have it. because it has, and it also says, or an equipment cast costs 1 less to cast. So we have kind of a synergy going over here.
That's for free then.
But no, because it's only one generic mana,
Oh, yeah,
and Arcane Flight would still require 1 blue, which means we actually, I would say this one does not really add too much to the strategy that we're going for. However, On Sarah's Wings does not only give flying, but also vigilance and lifelink.
It's better.
Which could give us a lot of strength right there. So I would like to see if we could include On Sarah's Wings.
Yeah.
Because even if we put it on a flyer, we could still give the creature will still have the benefit of the +1/+1 and the lifelink and the vigilance.
Yeah.
Plus we have a creature which reduces the cost, and Tiana makes sure that if the creature on which this is enchanted dies, we can get it back into our hand. Same story for Jousting Lance. The fact that it gives a creature +2/+0 is very nice with our flyers, because usually they won't be blocked, and if they are being blocked, they still have first strike. So I would also like to see if we can include Jousting Lance. Now we have included another 2 cards, which means that we still have room for 6 cards.
Yeah.
We have right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we still, I would like to include at least, actually I would like to include all of the missing spots in creatures, except for maybe one less. So we still have space for 1 more non-creature spell before we fill out the creatures.
Okay.
And we have to choose between, I'm putting this card away, Arcane Flight now.
Yeah.
We have to choose between 2 combat tricks, an expensive piece of removal, and a counter spell. Now there's something to be said about all of these. Charge is great for if you're going token strategy. We don't really have that. Then Run Amok might actually be better for us, because it actually gives +3/+3 and trample to the end of turn, but it only gives target attacking creature, which means we cannot use it on the defensive for our own creatures, which is kind of a shame.
Yeah.
Blood Tallow Candle. It's going to cost us 6, but it is almost unconditional removal because it gives -5/-5. And Syncopate, that works really well if you're able to anticipate what your opponent's going to be playing, and when they tap out, we can of course pay a little bit of mana and make sure that they will not be able to play it.
I like this one.
Yeah, I also feel like this one will be able to also late game remove stuff, and we can put it down early and wait and maybe scare our opponents into not playing stuff as well, because they think, oh my god, they've got this thing. So I would also like to include this card as our last piece of non-creature spell.
But shouldn't you put it more to this side because it's actually way more expensive?
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Because that's basically where we're playing it.
Yeah.
Good call. Okay, so we're putting that one there. These cards are not going to be included.
No.
So the rest of the cards we have to fill in.
Some more
so we still
creatures.
have 5 creatures we need to include.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at our curve. What are we missing right now? I feel like we're missing something a little bit low. Exactly. I think the 3 drops are fine. I would like to include another 3 2-drops. So let's have a look at what are the 2 drops that we've got for today.
Or unicorn.
Okay. So what we have right here, we're playing 3 colors, which means we cannot guarantee that we have any particular combination of colors at any given point in time.
Especially not at the beginning.
Exactly. So I would like to include Voltaic Servant. Why? Because it is a pretty decent body, a 1/3. It's actually going to be able to make us untap an artifact, which is not going to be relevant except for being able to give itself vigilance.
Yeah.
But we will always be able to play it relatively early.
Yeah.
I also really like Mesa Unicorn because of the lifelink. It's a pretty decent body.
Yeah.
I think it's much more relevant having a 2/2 with lifelink than having a 2/2 which is going to be moving the sagas around, which we do not have.
Yeah, we don't have them.
And we have over here Bloodstorm Goblin, which is only good if if other stuff is being kicked, which we also don't really have. So then I would like to include Gitu Chronicler. Because it allows us to get an instant sorcery back from our hand late game, and we do have instants or sorceries which we can get back. So that would actually be kind of nice both early. Playing it as a 2/2, 1/3 for 2 is fine. So we're going to put these cards aside. Then we still need 2 cards. 2 cards for perhaps 4 or later.
5 and a 5 and a 4. So these are the 4 mana cards. And this is 5. I'm just gonna put them to the same. Oh, this is the same one?
Yeah, that's the same one. Okay, so immediately already with the problem I see with the fire elemental, it's got a pretty decent body, but the fact that it requires 2 red kind of scares me a little bit. I mean, the Djinn of the Lamp, that one also requires 2 blue. However, that 6 is a big chance that we're going to be able to play that a lot later, and the effect is so much more powerful.
Yeah.
It is a 5/6 flyer, so that is going to win games much harder than the fire elemental. So I would like to take the fire elemental out of the discussion because it requires the 2 red, and we're playing 3 colors, so that's going to be super difficult. Then we have...
What about these 2 blue ones?
That one's also, but we're also going to be playing that one probably later on in the game.
Okay.
But yeah, you have a good point. The chance that we're going to be able to play this one on turn 2
in the beginning
is going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. So then we're just going to look at some bodies. So Lisa, what do you? Which one do you like?
Let me have a look.
How many do we still need to include?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 2.
Okay. So we got to pick 2 of these guys.
I don't like this one.
Okay. So you don't want the 2 knight vigilance, knights with vigilance. Okay.
Yeah, could be. When this guy enters, puts the top 4 cards into the graveyard.
That's not a relevant ability?
No, I don't like that. I like Flying Haste, but if you said before it's 2/2 for 4, which is kind of on the expensive side.
Yeah, but we are going for the kind of flying strategy by the looks of it, so it doesn't, I mean, it could be okay. I mean, it would be nicer if we had these 2 together.
Yeah.
Because then we've got a bigger chance that we've got multiple creatures attacking, being able to attack with multiple creatures.
Yeah.
But for example, this, a 4/4 for 4, is a pretty decent body, and I think I would like to see if I could include the Rampaging Baloth.
We don't
because
have
if
very
they don't,
high
power and toughness.
No.
So I would like to see if we can include that one.
Okay.
That would be pretty decent. I mean, if they're going token strategies, then yeah, they can multiple block it, but it's still going to be a pretty big creature anyway.
Yeah.
Then the question is, which one of these do we think is better? And although I'm not a big fan of Warcry Phoenix as a strong card, I think it is a better card than these 2 as fillers.
Okay, let's put it in.
So I think I would like to go into put that one included. So we take this one out.
Okay.
So you think right now, okay, we have the deck, but we're not done yet. Let's have a look if we have any lands which support our strategy. Hinterland Harbor. No.
Nope.
It does not. So we're going to put that one aside. Sulphur Falls. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it enters tapped unless you control an island or a mountain. Yes, this is within our colors. Memorial to War. Yes, we can include it. Memorial to Glory. Yes, we can include it. Isolated Chapel.
No.
No, it's not within our colors. So we're going to put those aside. Now, so these are the lands we're going to be including. Very final thing to look at. Yes, we can play these 3 colors as is. However, we had some cards that we put aside which could help us with mana fixing should we be playing 3 colors. So it is important to have a look real quick. Wait a second.
These are the creatures
Yeah,
that are not within the right...
not within the right...
mana.
So let me just have a quick scan. See. Skittering Surveyor, for example. This one enters and can get us a land, which I think is a card which we might want to find a spot for.
Okay. But that would mean that we have to remove something else,
We might have to take something else out. Absolutely true. This is also a card which is which I think is a very decent filler because it is both good early and late game. So I would like to see if there's a card that needs to be filled out over there, and then we're going to look to see if we have anything else which mana fixes us. A Navigator's Compass can mana fix us. And finally, let's see what else we had. No, that was it. Okay. So the question is, do we want to? It is very cheap, and it will always make sure that we're able to get those converted mana cost. Sorry, to be able to get the colors that we want. The question is, do we think it's worth it? Because all it does is it gains us 3 life in principle and makes sure that we're not mana screwed. But it doesn't actually do anything else. And we can't really take a creature out for this because it's not a creature.
No.
So it needs to take something out of here. I really want to keep my removal.
We need the removal, yeah.
Can't take that out for here. This draws us cards, which actually could also draw us into the lands that we need.
Yeah.
So that's also really strong. Blink of an Eye is also the piece of removal. And the Jousting lands, I've noticed that early on in the game, you can put it on a 2/2, and then all of a sudden you're attacking as a 4/2 with first strike, which makes it really hard for people to stop you. So I actually do not think that the non-creature spells can be taken out for this.
Yeah.
Unless we say, okay, on Sarah's Wings, but I would really like to see how that worked together with Tiana and Danitha Compassion Paragon. So we're gonna actually leave that one out again, so it didn't make the cut. Sergeant at Arms, the question is okay, we're maybe full on the 3-drop, but we could put in another 3-drop and take out a 4-drop or take out a 2-drop. That's absolutely true.
Do you think it's better than these two that we just put in?
Well, before we add this one, I would actually look at this one, because
that one
the
is good,
Skittering Surveyor will definitely help us with the land. So I would like to put that in there, because it will definitely help us when we're looking for a different colored land with those 3. A 3 comes in super early, so I kind of love that.
So what are we taking out?
That's exactly the question. So what are we taking out? I think these cards over here, we want to leave that because it gets a little bit more high. We want to leave the high converted mana cost stuff. We could. So the question is, are we going to take out something from over here, or are we going to take out something from over here?
We have more on the lower side. We
have more on the lower side, but are we going to be, is that going to be super important? I don't really know. So I'm just going to ask you as well. Do you think, for example, let's look at the last ones that we included. The Warcry Phoenix and Gitu Chronicler. If we would take out a card for this one, which one of these two would we take out first? Personally, I would take out this one, because it's always just going to be a 2/2. It's not going to be more than that.
Yeah.
Whereas this one can be a good early blocker, and late game can get us one of our pieces of removal back. So it has more moments in the game where it is actually useful.
Yeah.
So I would like to take this one out.
Yeah.
For the Skittering Surveyor. And then finally we ask ourselves, Sergeant at Arms. Yes, it's a 2/3. That's pretty nice on curve. And of course, late game, we can kick it to get some extra soldiers, which is, yeah, it's not bad. But is there something that's better than that? I think the Mesa Unicorn is better. Voltaic Servant, I like that affects 3 colors. Merfolk Trickster is good late game as well. I don't want to take out any of these ones that are over here. I think, frankly, I do want to leave something on the 4-drops. So Rampaging Cyclops is going to be stronger than this. Aven Sentry as well. Having a 3/2 in the air cannot be sniffed at. So I think this one just doesn't make the cut, even though it is, just a fun card anyway. So I guess that this is then the deck. So all we need to do now is add the lands.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at that. All right, so now we're going to do our lands. So we know we need 3 colors. We already have these ones. We have the Sulphur Falls, the Memorial to Glory, and the Memorial to War. And we want to see we got 17 lands. 16, 15, 14, which means we got to add another 14. We have space for another 14 cards. We already have 2 red sources, 1 blue source, and 1 white source. We want to make sure that we have it balanced around the same, but we do need more blue sources. So if we are going to divide those 14 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planes, that means we actually have 6 sources of white. If we're going to add 1, 2, 3 mountains, then we actually have 5 sources of red. So there's 1 less than white, as you can see over here early on again as well. It's more important that we have white than that we have red. Just by 1 source, but we need the most blue. So we'd add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 islands. There we go. So 6 islands,
over there,
which means we have 7 sources of blue.
Yeah.
So together that makes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there we got our 17 lands.
Yeah.
With a little bit more white, a little bit less red, and the most blue. So now all we need to do is sleeve it up.
Yeah.
In order to play test the deck, we've got another deck that we built earlier. As you can see over here, this deck has a lot more powerful bombs close to the end. Look at this. We've got Shalai, Voice of Plenty. You got 2 of those, 2 Aven Sentries. Very low on the removal though, as well, just like the other deck. We've got some combat tricks, but the only really hard piece of removal is Blessed Light. This deck is also a little more focused in the sense that it's only white, only green, so it's really leveraging the power of just being white and green. Doesn't have very big fat bombs other than, of course, Shalai, Voice of Plenty. The Mammoth Spider should stop the flyers. Primordial Worm is just a big beater. And the Parting Wonder 5/5 Trampler. And a lot more just kind of filler cards. Really hoping to deal a lot of damage at the 4 converted mana cost section. So let's see how these 2 decks do against each other. Okay, now of course no deck construction would be complete without seeing it in action. So what we of course have here is I'll be playing the deck that we just constructed together. Lisa with pink sleeves is going to be playing the deck we just had a look at, which we built earlier. And yeah, let's have a look at how it goes. Let's draw 7. Alright, I am going to show my starting hand. Which I gotta say, I'm not too excited about, because we've got this one right there, and we got no sources for that. But I'm still gonna keep because I don't feel like going to 6. Lisa?
I'm gonna keep it.
Are you gonna show the what cards you have?
Okay.
Alright, so now we're gonna roll for you starts. Rolled an 18. Alright, I would like to start. And I'm going to start with a plains. Pass the turn.
Draw a card. Start with a forest. Your turn.
Draw a card. Ha, very good. I got lucky. I cast plains. Sorry, I play a island, and then I cast Voltaic Servant, a 1/3 at the beginning of your untap target artifact. Pass the turn.
Okay, playing a plains, and let me see. I have a 1/3. I'm playing this guy first. Elfheim Druid. And it's your turn.
Alright, untapify. Draw a card. This is actually not too shabby. Okay, I would like to... let's go with... Mesa Unicorn, a 2/2 with lifelink. There's not much point in me attacking you right now because I can only do 1 damage and you have 2 toughness. So I'd like to pass the turn.
Okay. Playing another plains, and I cast this guy for 1 green and these 3, and then I'm playing Shalai, a Voice of Plenty.
Are you kidding me?
3/4 flyer.
Okay, so you got your bomb.
Yeah,
Great.
and they all have X-proof.
Okay, great.
Your turn.
That is an issue. That is an issue. Okay, draw a card. I do have a red source. Would like to play for 2 Jousting Lands. Quick creature get +2/+0, and as long as it's attacking, well, as long as it's your turn, it has first strike. And then I think for 2, I'm going to play Gitu Chronicler, a 1/3, and pass the turn.
Okay. Forest. You have no flyers, huh?
I do not.
I'm attacking you with this flyer.
Yeah, I
3
take
damage.
3, go down to 17.
And then I am playing Quende Pride of Femaref. It's a 2/2 with double strike, and other creatures I have with first strike now have double strike.
Okay, that is pretty sweet. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Your turn.
Alright, untapify. I'm going to draw. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Play a plains. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 3 mana to equip Jousting Lands. I'm going to equip Jousting Lands on my Mesa Unicorn. So my Mesa Unicorn now has +2/+0 and first strike as long as it's my turn. And I would like to attack with my 4/2 first striker.
me think. Do I want to block it? No, I'll take the damage.
Okay, Lisa takes 4 damage. I gain 4 life. So I go up to 21 life. Pass the turn. What's important to remember is that either victory of any of these 2 decks doesn't really say very much because both decks were constructed in exactly the same fashion as this one.
Yeah.
Just did.
Yeah.
That one was built in the same way.
Yeah.
So there doesn't say anything about the methods used.
No.
Lisa's going straight to the attack. Alright. She's sending a 2/2 double striker and a 4/3 flyer. Can't really do anything.
3/4 flyer.
Sorry, 3/4 flyer. Can't really do anything about the flyer. I could double block the 2/2 double striker. However, if I do double block it, let's say, it will first do 2 damage first strike, so it'll do it against one of these 2. Then we'll do damage simultaneously. I'll do 2 damage to Kefnet, and that will do another 2 to one and to the other, which means it can kill one of the 2, but it won't be able to kill both. However, there's also a chance that Lisa has a combat trick in her hand, giving it +2/+2, for example, is one of the things we saw, or giving it +1/+1 and untapping it, which means that I'm kind of afraid of the combat tricks.
You're not supposed to know that.
You know the stuff that's in my deck as well.
That's true.
So I am afraid of combat tricks. I don't know if you have it in your hand, but I just do know that there's a realistic problem that you have combat tricks. So I am going to throw caution to the wind. I'm going to say no, I'm not going to block that. So Lisa, are you going to cast anything else?
No.
You do 7 damage, which means I go down to 14.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Knight of Grace, a 2/2 first strike. He gets +1/+0 as long as any player controls a black permanent, which no one does.
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
Alright. Draw a card. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. I am going to go to combat. I've got first strike. You got first strike, which means they would kill each other. Do I care? Let me think. Probably not. No, I don't care. I'm attacking you with my 2/2 lifelinker. I mean, sorry, my 4/2 first strike lifelinker.
Seal away.
Okay, enters the battlefield, exile target tapped creature until seal away leaves the battlefield. Okay, so seal away has now made sure that my creature has been exiled. That's too bad. What else can I do? I can over-equip it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 4 mana and tap an untapped artifact I control to play Zadid, Djinn of the Lamp.
Let's see, do again.
It's a 5/6
Can
flyer.
you show it here?
It is a 5/6 flyer, and I was able to play it for 4 instead of for 6 because I tapped an artifact I control.
It's a good card.
Yep. And then I cannot do anything else because equipping cost is 3, so I don't have that. So then I would like to pass the turn. At the beginning of my end step, I untap target artifact. Doesn't really matter, but let's do it anyway.
Okay, missing my land drop again.
All right.
It's kind of a shame. I have a 5/6 flyer, huh?
Yes.
It's Kind of annoying.
Sure, it's kind of annoying.
Be a shame if somebody got rid of it, huh?
You do not have another piece of removal. You do not. Come on. No. No, you do. Oh my god. Alright. My bomb has been removed. Okay.
So that's a 4/4.
Why is it a 4/4?
For creatures with first strike have double strike. Yeah, it's not a 4/4, but it has double strike.
Okay.
This is just a 3/4 flyer, and this is also a 2/2 with double strike.
Okay. I'd like to double block your Kefnet.
Okay.
Then I take, this one's got double strike. So that is 3 plus 4, that's 7 damage. So I go down to 7. Yeah. And I deal 2 damage. You first deal 2 damage to which one?
Let me think. I think this guy.
Okay. Then I deal 2 damage simultaneously to your creature, and you deal another 2 damage to, I assume, this one?
Yep.
Okay. So this one dies.
And this one dies.
And this one lives. Okay.
Totally worth it though.
Yeah?
Your turn.
Alright. Untap. Draw. Okay, Memorial to War enters tapped. I can sacrifice destroy target land. That's not really going to help me that much right now. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I cannot really do anything right now, so I am going to pass the turn.
Really?
Yes.
You know how much I hate that if you have so much mana open still.
I know. Hopefully your hatred for that will allow me to survive.
Sure. Let me see. I'm attacking you.
And you're right to be wary because the Blessed Light has hit your angel.
Nah.
And it is therefore exiled. Then, in the combat phase, I would like to block your Knight of Grace with my 1/3.
Okay.
You play anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
For 6, I do this guy and this guy.
Oh wow.
This one gives me +3/+0 vigilance and trample if I equip it for 3. And this is a 1/3 flyer, and whenever it attacks, another target attacking creature gains flying.
Alright, pass turn?
Yes.
Alright. Okay, this is starting to get pretty sticky at this point. However, I do have...
You're on 7 life, right?
Yes.
I'm on 16.
I do have for 3 Divination. Draw 2 cards.
Okay. That could
Which
help
is
you.
exactly what I needed right now, I hope. It is not exactly what I needed right now. I've got Memorial to Glory, comes in tapped. And then I will
Maybe we should
use...
show the cards that we have in our hands right now. On the camera. I have this one.
Okay, then I would like to pay 3 to equip Jousting Lens. And I would like to attack with a 3/3 first strike.
I will take it.
Okay, then end of my turn, I get to untap target artifact, which is going to be the Voltaic Servant.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
This is the card I just drew. Am I going to attack you?
I still have a 3/3, it just doesn't have first strike now.
Okay. Should I equip this? I think I should. But it gives me... I'm gonna equip this guy to make it a 4/3 flying vigilance trample. But you still have a 3/3.
But it's not flying.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'm attacking you with this guy, and it give this guy flying as well.
Okay. So total damage? Can't block either of them.
This doesn't have double strike anymore, so
No.
this is just 2, and this is 4, right?
6 total?
Yes.
So I go down to 1.
Ooh.
Okay, down to 1 life.
Yes. Just give me a second. I am playing another one of the Pegasus Courser.
Okay.
Your turn.
Alright, this is it. Draw a card. Yeah, this is too little too late. Let's play it anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Academy Journey Mage. I don't have another wizard, so it still costs full cost. And when it enters the battlefield, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. I'm going to return that one back to your hand.
Okay.
And I do not have enough mana to play to sacrifice my Memorial to Glory. And well, yeah, let's just attack anyway. I'm going to attack with my Voltaic Servant for 3 for a strike.
I'll take it.
And then I would like to pass the turn.
Okay. You have 1 blocker.
Non-flying.
Yep. You are so dead.
No blocks, no cards in hand. I can't play anything. I take more than 1 point of damage, so I died.
Yay!
Good job. All right. Well, that is an example of of how these
Of how you lose.
Of how you lose. How
Great
these
example,
sealed games
yeah.
go. And well, thanks for watching. I'm David.
I'm Lisa.
This was Budget MTG Decks.